Yeah, I'm talking about the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. What do you want from me? I'm only human. It was probably the worst fight I have ever seen. A fight between two theater students using nothing but the machino arts of stage combat would be more entertaining than this. I'd say the only thing I'm thankful for was that I was smart enough not to put any money on this fight. Because I would have bet on Mike Tyson and been in even more debt as a college student. Of course, I still watch the fight, so I guess I'm not that smart. Everybody, I felt like everybody to some extent knew that they were setting Jake Paul up to win, but I guess there was still like a bit of hope that, Mike Tyson could have pulled his own. Because here's the thing, Jake Paul is not a great boxer, and he's an insufferable asshole. People just really wanted Mike Tyson to teach him a lesson, literally bend him over and spank him on the ass and whip his ass a few times in this match. He didn't have to win the whole thing. As long as he just like got to beat the shit out of Jake Paul for a couple of rounds, I think people would have been very content. But that's not what happened. So Mike Tyson lost a lot of his stamina by the third round. And from there, he just couldn't connect. And he was already struggling to connect to begin with because he had an injury. He couldn't use his legs. So he was mostly relying on defense, and which was mostly blocking. Like he couldn't dodge half the time because again, he didn't really have that blistering speed or maneuver because of his injury. And yeah, because Jake Paul was just able to connect the most and, hit Mike Tyson at age 58, he was able to win. Yeah, Jake Paul can now say he beat Mike Tyson. A better name would be Jake Paul can now say he beat a senior citizen. 2 years from now, Mike Tyson would be able to get the half price senior discount at any buffet, so it's not really an impressive feat. In February of last year, Paul suffered a point defeat to Tommy Fury, the first professional boxer he faced. Right, because he only fights people he knows he can win. It means about as much. It has about as much cred as if I were to beat a 4-year-old. Literally, that's not impressive unless that 4-year-old was like Jotaro Kujo. In which case, yeah, I guess that would be impressive that I beat Jotaro at any point in time. But no, it's just he's beating an old guy who's well past his prime. And Jake Paul, he's not even in his prime. Well, he might be. I don't really know like at what point do boxers become in their primes, but Jake Paul is not the great boxer. This may be the highest point of his career since he beat one of the greatest boxers of all time, even though it was past his prime. So it's just sad. And has since gone on a 5-fight win streak. This event was on a whole different level as he faced Tyson, a former undisputed champion with 44 wins via knockout. Yep, that's the thing. It's still former champion. It's uh, it's like if Tanjiro were to beat Tenyen in the Hashira training arc, because Tenyen stopped. He Both Tyson and Tenyen have stopped training once they retired. However, unlike Tenyen, who could still absolutely hold his own against Tanjiro despite retiring and having severe injuries, Tyson could not do the same. The 27-year-old Paul looked much looser than Tyson, who couldn't move his neck, and his legs seemed worse for wear. He even sported a leg brace. Wait, Jake Paul is 27? Oh my god! Wow, I was. I thought Jake Paul was at least in his. Like, I thought he was in his 30s. So there's pretty much a 30-year difference between him and Tyson. And wow. The ego on this guy is immaculate. All right. Here we go. Instead, Tyson lost energy in round 3. Yep, that seems about right. He appeared to be biding his time and waiting for the right moment to catch Paul slipping. It never happened. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Paul doesn't have the best form, but, you know, you're still fighting. You still got enough energy and better reflexes than somebody who's 30 years older than him, I imagine. Instead, Paul nailed Tyson a handful of times, and it was enough to coast through most of the fight. Yet the few times there was actually a connection between face and fist, that was enough for Jake Paul to claim the victory against the former champion, Mike Tyson. Yeah. So, I still got a bit of an injury of my own. I don't know if I'm 100% over my bronchitis, but, we'll pull through this. Magic Johnson says, "It's just sad, so much hate. I cut it off because I couldn't watch anymore. It's sad to see Mike Tyson like this because I went to every Tyson fight." Yeah, it is sad to see somebody who was a highly respected athlete pretty much get their hand steamed well past their glory days. Like, Mike, he's just past his glory days. It'd be like, well, it hasn't been that long since Tom Brady retired, but it would be like if Tom Brady came out of retirement, say in we'll do 2030, 6 years from now. Obviously, he would not be able to hold his own against anybody. Bryce Young could absolutely do better than Tom Brady if he came out of retirement 6 years from now. It's just what happens when you retire. I mean, you stop training and you lose all that stuff that you had back in your glory days. Mike's not even swinging, dog. Yeah. Jake Paul can't finish a 58-year-old who has the mobility of a tree. Yeah, there were no knockouts. That's another problem I had. Even though Jake Paul was pretty much the only one that was able to connect at any point. Well, land a hit at any point. He still did not have any strength to KO Tyson. Even though if he what sorry. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Okay, so let's say Tommy Fury were to fight Mike Tyson. Tommy Fury would absolutely KO Tyson within round 3 once he lost all that energy. Jake Paul can't do that. He still has a long way to go if he wants to be a real boxer. And I feel like, for starters, he's got to actually fight more people that are a challenge, rather than just fighting everybody he knows he could win against or has a chance to win against. Again, a lot of people still thought Tyson could absolutely beat his ass, and it was disappointing to see somebody not be able to hold their own. So yeah, round 1, there was a point where it just became a straight hugging match. It happened very early too. Yep. Right there, yep. I mean, I don't know what that technique is from Paul, but one thing's for sure. Oh my god. One thing's for sure is that the fight was not scripted. There's no way in hell that this fight would be scripted, and that's what makes it sad. I mean, that face from Mike Tyson right there, that says it all. It came out of nowhere. This is Paul. I don't even know how to describe this technique, but It definitely caught Tyson off guard.
Right there. He's still Mike chasing Jake around the ring like that.
Okay, so
these are two.
Mike's
yeah,
hurt.
so we get to round 3, and
It's a very
Tyson is
important
just,
task all referees do, but
yep,
Mike
he's
Tyson taking punishment
he's already
here in
lost so
round
much
3
speed
from
and
Paul.
energy.
Taking bad punishment.
Mike does not look good right
No, he
now.
does not look good at all right here. Here you see Jake Paul land a beautiful jab with right hand first.
Yeah, and Paul's
Right
form
there.
isn't the
And knocked
greatest
Mike off
either,
balance 2 times. And Mike was
which
highly off balance right there. I don't
just
like
makes
how his
this all the
legs-
more sad.
Yeah, something wrong.
Tommy Fury would absolutely, like, the second he managed to break through Tyson, that would have been a knockout for sure. I am almost confident. Okay, so then we skip ahead a little. Let's go to round 6.
In the sport, very
Wait, what was
Landed a
that?
left hook on the neck. Hit him clean and hit
Hold on, back a little more. I think this is
by
one of
end
the
of
few
fight. That
times
was a good shot.
they
Looked
actually
like it hurt Mike
connected
a
for a
little
bit.
And then you see a
Okay, yeah,
left hook
so
right there that was partially blocked by Mike's shoulder, but then Mike landed a left hook on the neck.
yeah, this
Hit him
I'd say
clean,
this
hit
was
him on the
probably
neck. So,
this was one of the
Mike
better
Tyson-
moments, but it happened
Tyson's
so
neck is
brief.
one of the-
And holy fuck, I think that face from Jake Paul just screams like how much of an ego he's got. Maybe it's because I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan and I have tickets to see the game later today, but man, I just can't help but compare him to Carson Beck. I highly doubt any of y'all will get that reference if you're not from Georgia, but both of them they think they're the shit, even though they're playing against not basically a guaranteed victory. And half the time they can't even win that
the more
victory.
developed in the sport.
This is one of the few times it wasn't even close. Like, Jake Paul absolutely had the upper hand throughout this entire fight. But again, that's because he still has his youth and all that energy, while Mike Tyson is well past his prime and out of shape to a certain extent. He's not like, he's definitely not a couch potato by any means, but you can just tell by looking at his body that he's put on a few and lost a bit of the muscle mass he once had. And yeah, there's the knee brace he's got supporting him.
Throwing a jab hook right hand, followed by a hook. The last hook was cool. Wasn't a real power shot, but it was a good hook.
Yeah, I'll admit that was a pretty impressive hook. I don't know what the rules are for showing the fight. I don't think it's nearly as bad copyright-wise as some of the other sports. Especially since Netflix aired it for free as long as you had a subscription. Usually when it comes to stuff like the NFL or major sporting events, you have to pay premium. Like, pay for that individual event. Props to Netflix. I mean, you didn't, as long as you had the subscription, you didn't have to pay for this individually, so. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I get a DMCA claim. The real winners are the ones who didn't watch the fight. Yeah. I'm so glad I slept all night and only watched this video. Oh, I couldn't sleep. I watched the fight as soon as I got off work. Well, schoolwork, basically, like extracurriculars. And I ended up staying up well past the fight because I got so drunk watching it that I couldn't fall asleep afterwards. This fight means nothing to me. Tyson will forever live on as one of the best. Yeah, I mean, that's good positive outcome. Mike Tyson very much is still one of the best boxers, but to say that this fight wasn't a little embarrassing and a slap to his career is definitely, like, you'd be lying to yourself. That slap was better than the whole fight. Yeah. Did I pass the slap or did I show it? Sure, it happened at some point, but I know what he's talking about. I remember the slap. Next, I want to see 27-year-old Mike against 58-year-old Paul. Right. Well, again, Mike Tyson actually is a boxer, so he would at least knock out 58-year-old Paul if that's the case.